Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your Pisces August 2022 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. For those of you who are stopping by for the first time, and as the subscribers know, there are no advertisements throughout this content, so you get to enjoy the experience uninterrupted. Now, speaking of experience, I've had the great pleasure of doing a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for some of your Piscean sisters and brothers over the course of the last month, and if you would like to find out what might be involved in that, just check out the information that's in the description box below. Now, it can happen from anywhere in the world, of course. Now, let's see what there is in store for you. I hope you're enjoying summer, by the way. You should be out there in the water if you can. Summer in the Northern Hemisphere, the US, Canada, Mexico, Europe, Great Britain. Hello to everybody in Britain and Ireland. Good to see you. And hello to everyone in the Philippines. Of course, it's summer for you there, although it's always nice and warm in the Philippines. Hi to everybody in India. Good to see you. Pakistan as well. And hi to people in Singapore and Malaysia, Indonesia. Great to see you. Pretty well always nice and hot and humid in those countries, isn't it, there? Now, let's see, we're going to take 5 cards. Now, the Southern Hemisphere, of course, South Africa, strength. New Zealand and Australia, there's the 7 of Cups. It's wintertime, and you are doing everything you can do, the cosmos, to stay warm. So, the 1 of Cups. And so maybe what will happen is that this reading will warm you up. And there's the Earth Mother. So why don't you, as is our usual practice, come now, sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. I think we might have a look at the Earth Mother first, only because I like it. The Queen of Life is what the title is, no doubt. Well, let's have a closer look at the painting, shall we? See what we can gain from it. Well, look, the picture says it all, doesn't it? The Earth Mother celebrates life. She is both pregnant with new life and in loving relationship with the child who sits before her. She is dancing with a veil that connects the higher and lower realms in that twilight consciousness that is the meeting of the worlds. The image depicts both the star energy of higher consciousness and the moon energy of feminine receptivity and intuition. Now, although she may at a moment appear lost in her dance, she's always connected to the ground beneath her. As you look at this painting, you'll notice a figure connected by an umbilical cord to a fetus inside the womb that's there. It is the soul coming into the body, a process that is guided by a spirit guide. This reflects the guidance that is available whenever spirit is coming into form. Now, this card, Major Arcana number 3, those you tarot experts out there will know that this is traditionally called the Empress, yet the qualities I think usually attributed to her are not so much those of a ruler as those of a mother, being able to nurture, comfort, extend love to others, and provide for their needs. Here, she is an Earth Mother because she lives close to the soil and nature. It is primarily the 2 qualities of parental caretaker and being connected to the natural world that make her really the counterpart to the Emperor. She's fertile and creative, as you will be during this period. She's really a symbol of fertility, and she's particularly sensitive to the physical and emotional aspects and is able to connect these to spirit. Now, spirit is not disembodied and abstract for her, and in fact, it is not. It actually saturates you and everything, because it is everywhere in the world. And the Earth Mother herself is an incarnation of it, as you are. She embodies many of the traits of the High Priestess, I suppose, but in a more grounded and personal way. Her spirituality is sensual because it is wedded to life. It may be the sensuality of candlelight and incense, of earth-based ceremonies of song and dance, or any kind of beauty. Do you know, pleasure is a natural outgrowth of this orientation, and you'll experience it this month. And this pleasure is not separated from the deeper dimensions of life, but is a way of praising creation and our physical bodies and capacities. The Earth Mother is not always slaving away over a hot stove, but has time to celebrate, to dance, to make love, and to play with her children. She includes them in her life, letting them see her for who she is. Her arms wide, her breasts visible, her hair blowing in the wind. But look, for the men listening to this archetype that I speak of here is not limited to women, but it also embodies that sensitivity within men. And it is not limited to women who mother children. Any woman who has claimed her body and her connection to earth, who lets her creativity and love come out, who tends to her creations with attentiveness and loving concern, is expressing the energy of this card. Although it is a feminine energy, I say it again, men, you can express it too. Because you're made up of female and male, it's just that the male predominates. Usually much larger, much greater so. But because this card has come up, it indicates a quickening, like the fetus here, a quickening of this energy. You are becoming full and juicy with life and about to give birth to something. Now, it may be a good time to consider having a child, or to begin a new creative project, or otherwise just to express your maternal energy. It is certainly a good time to deepen and enjoy your connection with earth, sensuality, and body. Open up your arms now at this time of year and dance a little. Now let's go to the other end of the diagonal and see the image that's here, which says what, Nigel? Moving from the core. Oh, well, thanks a lot for the great assistance with that, which does nothing for me. But let's see, moving from the core. Maybe something will come. Let's have a look here. Wow. What we have is strength, right? Well, strength is power. It is the ability to meet what is difficult and to act in alignment with your values. When you speak from truth and are in alignment with that truth, others feel it. Your presence is big like a mountain, and you can sense your solidity and integrity. This mountain-like presence actually is very similar to the pyramid, which is in the background of this card. The pyramid actually is the most stable physical form. Did you know that? Having a stable base like this allows you to extend yourself in endearing ways. Now, much of our attention in this card is naturally drawn to this woman that's here, and in the foreground. She is belly dancing, which is the perfect expression of the more complementary model of strength. Belly dancing is a demanding discipline executed in a fluid way. Now, I've never done it myself, of course, but I know some women who have, and they tell me it is a great workout. It combines a toned body, the more masculine principle of form, with the more feminine, the principle of surrender. In belly dancing, the focus is more on following the internal impulse or flow than on executing a particular pattern. And it does move from the core. It takes deep alignment with the core to move from the core in this way. When you dance from this place, people perceive that you are deeply in touch with yourself and all of your energy centers are engaged, and you do exude sensuality, passion, and self-love. Well, I can certainly say whenever I've watched belly dancers, I have found it extremely sensual to observe. Now, the bird wings that you see down here, let's go back again. These bird wings, I think they represent the strength of her animal energy, which she has made friends with. The rising snake depicts primal energy, and the descending snake represents cosmic energy. Now, both of these energies circulate within her. Being present in the lower energy centers is part of her strength. Now, when you are cut off or not present in the lower part of your body, it manifests as weakness or as an energetic split. Sometimes you have the idea that being centered means staying very still, but as in my example of the belly dancer, being centered is a powerful place from which to move, dance, and act. And as I've said, action that is in alignment with your inner core exudes a sense of strength and integrity. Now, because you have drawn this card, it is an invitation to get in touch with your strength. It may be strength on any or a combination of levels: animal strength, physical strength, mental strength, emotional or spiritual strength. Is there a particular area where strength is needed right now? Are there places in your life where you feel off-center? Where are you in alignment with core values, and where are you not? Where do you need to speak your truth or act with strength and courage? I think that this is a good time to take up physical activities, particularly ones that focus on moving from the core. This can include forms of dance or expressive movement, martial arts. Men, get out there and do your push-ups and sit-ups. They're the best things that you can do, and do some squats. You don't need to go to the gym. Body weight exercises are great for having a toned, well-defined body. Now, you may also want to find out what it's like to move from the center. When your sense of this has grown strong, you recognize it, not just in the body, but in all of your activities. Let's have a look at this. One of Cups, dissolving the oneness. Do you know, I get the feeling here that there's a lot of Sagittarius around here. A lot of Scorpio, yeah, and a lot of Libra. They're going to be important, I suspect, during that period, or people with those ascendants in particular, the rising signs of those. Could be sun sign, but particularly rising signs, I feel. Now, what do we have here? Dissolving the oneness. Well, one can represent a sense of wholeness and perfection. And I think that the One of Cups here reflects this on the emotional plane. Now, this card reflects the state of consciousness, which is related to being within the womb, I suppose, that state of consciousness. It represents the merged state in which our needs are automatically met and we are completely nurtured, although development requires that you emerge from this non-dual consciousness and learn to take care of yourself. You can periodically dissolve back into this state of primordial union. Do you know, it's a state of rest and satisfaction, an oceanic state, graphically represented here by the combination of the womb and the ocean itself. Now, the good news is that you can, I think, go through a process of reparenting yourself, whereas as adults, you may have previously had been let down. Maybe you didn't receive unconditional love and nurture that you may have missed as a child. Now, with this healing, You come to a new awareness that it is safe to be here. You may find your way to this state of unity consciousness through spiritual work or the bliss of falling in love. And some other people may find it through nature, I've heard, and various forms of therapy, apparently. One therapeutic approach that is especially suited for bringing you back to a more in utero experience is this thing called Watsu, which is a form of water therapy done in tubs or pools or in natural bodies of water. And as you relax in the water, or you could get into what they call, at least in my country, float tanks, where you get into a tank which is closed off, you lie floating in it, and there's no light and no sound. As you relax in the water, the practitioner gently supports and moves you. So you sink into a very fluid, unfixated state. And some would say that awakens a cellular memory of the in utero experience. Now, a similar shift in consciousness has been reported in flotation tanks, but the presence of Watsu, that's W-A-T-S-U, adds another dimension. But nevertheless, because this card has appeared, it represents, I think, a time for you to return to this primordial state of unity. See if you can create a retreat space, even if it is only for an hour, where you can completely let go and feel the support of the larger universe. You may feel pulled to spend time in or around water, and that may be your bathtub, or the ocean, or a river, or a lake. This energy reflects either the need for or the possibility of dissolving into oneness. Well, we had a good, long, close look at that. Let's see if we can spend some more diverse time on this thing here. Drama queen. Well, do you know a few drama queens in your life? God, I've had my fair share of them, I can tell you. But let me say this about this Seven of Cups. Drama queen. Well, what am I supposed to make of that, do you think? Well, look, the first thing we'll do is look at the painting. And here's an audience here, and you see that in the dark. It looks like an audience. And look, this card is really a spin-off of the fairy tale Snow White. Now, the Western audience will be familiar with that Snow White tale that people heard of as children. Probably people in India may have heard of that, and the Philippines, through the Middle East as well. But certainly English-speaking audiences in the West will be familiar with it. And, of course, it probably translated into other languages as well. But Snow White, well, this is an image of that scene when the queen is not mirrored in the way she wants. She becomes murderously jealous. This is, of course, an extreme reaction that comes with the mistaken feeling that the only way to be loved and admired is to be the best. Now, the drama queen does not know that she is enough as she is, and that she can be loved in all of her faults and frailties. Now, in the suit of cups, one normally looks at strategies, I suppose. They can come up, which are used to try and get your emotional needs met. Now, this Seven of Cups here, I think for you this month, is about dramatization, making things larger than life. Now, this may refer to somebody that's in your life that you know of. And I guess the psychologists would call being a drama queen the hysterical clinging strategy. The hysterical part is the building up, the making bigger of emotion, and the clinging is the underlying desire to avoid separation. Now, although hysterical is generally considered a bad word, there is nothing wrong with being expressive or flamboyant, of course. The problem arises when we must get theatrical in order to be seen or heard. Indeed, this is part of the whole underpinning of this strategy of hysterical clinging. When we know, well, put it this way, when you know you are loved and accepted as you are, you don't need to put on anything extra, do you? When you get dramatic, we have all done so at times, it's often like a child pleading, "Don't leave, stay here and watch me." We want something to be seen and mirrored, don't we? A part of the healing, I guess, is to cultivate a compassionate witness. Now, we can notice what we're wanting and hold this in a loving way. We can also learn to be more straightforward, to ask for what we want without having to whip up our feelings or exaggerate our needs. Now, that popular term, drama queen, we all know it, is a good description for someone that uses that strategy because it reflects a desire to be treated in a special way, perhaps to feel important. And one way we can feel bigger than others is to make our drama bigger. If what is happening is bad, it becomes the most tragic anyone could ever experience. If good, it is the most wonderful thing imaginable. There's nothing ordinary for or about the drama queen, except the underlying needs, which are eternal. But look, and I say this with respect, because this has turned up like this in here, just look for those tendencies that I've just discussed, remembering that they may appear in a subtler form than I've mentioned. Do you sometimes have to make things seem bigger than they are in order to be heard? Do you find yourself exaggerating to make a better story or to feel more interesting or alive? If you do find yourself in this pattern, and I'm saying this with respect, if you do find yourself in this pattern and are not comfortable with this, right? If you're not comfortable with it, there are ways to work with it. One is to feel what motivates your behavior and deal with the underlying needs. Another is to become a better audience for yourself, holding even the smallest feelings with respect and compassion as well as objectivity. Another strategy that could be helpful in dealings with other people in situations where others are involved is to notice when you are dramatizing and just lighten it up a bit by making it funny or humorous. When you can see the drama as drama, you're not caught in it anymore. Then life can settle down and you can enjoy the simple things again. So you may know a drama queen to whom you can give that advice. And finally, we come to the central card here, and this has obviously got something important to say, seeing as it comes up in the center. Now, it does say anything, the multi-dimensional universe. Well, I can certainly tell you this, that reality is far more extensive than we think it is, certainly far more than scientific materialism makes it out to be. But on this card here, let's look at the painting first, shall we? Here we see two people have come together with the earth and other life forms to celebrate the ascension of consciousness. Now, the top half of the picture is a mandala. Okay, a mandala is a geometric form, very often used in Islam, but originating, I think, in Tibetan Buddhism, where the mind is focused to enable meditation or deep prayer. But it's a form found in many cultures, but it had its beginnings up in the Himalayas, as some people call it, or the Himalayas. Now, the general shape of that geometric form there is that of a circle. Now, mandalas are often used to represent spiritual harmony or personal wholeness. Now, this particular mandala, I'm just looking at it here, it contains symbols from the world's various wisdom traditions. And I think that represents an inclusiveness and wholeness in terms of spiritual expression, as well as a wholeness of time. That is, past and present are one, just as various faith communities are one. Now, in the picture, the flame here of spiritual aspiration rises up and is met by an offer of help from angels, guides, and ascended masters. And the new life that follows is represented, I think, by the image of this little baby. I think that's a baby if my eyes don't deceive me. So, in effect, old and new come together in a moment outside of time. What this speaks of to me, for you, is that of completion, cosmic union, maybe some travel, liberation from bondage, the burning off of karma in particular. Now you see yourself and the world as it really is. All garments and masks have become superfluous and useless because you are at one with your original nature. You are whirling, caught up in the perpetual dancing motion of the universe, and the boundaries of your small ego I can dissolve in orgasmic union with the cosmos itself. There is the completion of a project here. Your efforts are finally paying off. It's been a long, hard haul, I think, for you, but you're almost there. And this is a reminder to you also to finish what you started. I think that what you will find is that you are learning to take control of your own destiny, and you'll be using the power of your will to get results. You'll be gifted at the same time of completing the old and starting the new. And you'll be able to bring change into strongly structured environments. I think you might find that you are quite ecologically minded during this period, and you'll have a desire to experience as much of the world and its people as is possible. Now, it may be that before the age of 21 there was a sexual block, but that's been overcome. There is something ending and beginning at the same time here for you. It's now possible for you to see things as they really are. The stage is set for a new beginning or a favorable completion. The events in your life are going to be in harmony with the universe. From what aspects of your life is it time to free yourself? Is there a journey or an enterprise waiting for you to set it in motion? Trust your perceptions. Make a list of all unfinished situations whose resolution would give you a sense of relief. And say this: I love to travel. I love to explore the unknown. I am excited about bringing ideas and creative projects into form. I deeply value the making of a contribution that makes the environment around me a better place to live. I am truly one with the universe. What a beautiful set of cards for you. Good job. That's the way it is for you this year. Well, what a fascinating reading. I'm sure you will agree. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. I really look forward to doing your reading each month, I really do. Truly I do. And, I send you some good energy, the subscribers, throughout the month, which you will feel from time to time. So don't worry, I'm always thinking of you. You are never alone. Now, until I see you again, remember one thing, and one thing is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.